The Federal Administrative Court in Berlin ruled that sending asylum seekers back at the German border is illegal. The court found that Germany had violated EU regulations, in particular, the Dublin Regulation, which obliges member states to determine which of them is responsible for processing asylum applications. Will this decision lead to a more assertive stance by the Polish government toward German immigration policy? The German court's ruling is a serious blow to the immigration policy of Chancellor Friedrich Merz and Interior Minister Alexander Dobrindt, who, continuing Scholz's decisions, have opted for a tough migration policy and the return of immigrants to neighboring countries, including Poland.
Zaskakuje mnie, że kanclerz Merz
I am surprised that Chancellor Merz and his government did not know from the outset that the practice they were implementing was against the law. Worse still, the Minister of the Interior and the Chancellor himself have already publicly announced that they disagree with the Berlin court's ruling, even though the issue is clear and obvious. The ruling concerns the case of 3 Somali citizens, 2 men and 1 woman, who arrived from Poland on May 9 and applied for asylum at the train station in Frankfurt Oder. However, they were immediately deported back without their applications being considered. The court ruled that the government's actions violated applicable asylum laws. What will this mean for Poland? After such rulings, one would expect that, under pressure from public opinion and the media, Polish authorities would begin to react and refuse to allow such illegal actions. If Poland had a normal government, this ruling would have changed the whole situation and provided a basis for dealing with the crisis on the western border and simply closing that western border. In May, the Merz government announced a new, stricter migration policy, including a complete suspension of asylum procedures, a freeze on the processing of applications, and the return of migrants at the borders. The German authorities are maintaining increased controls on their side of the border and declare that they have already sent almost 10,000 legal immigrants back to Poland. These people should be returned to Germany immediately, to the German courts, so that the German courts can decide on their status in accordance with European law, and I have no doubt that these people should stay in Germany and await the outcome of all procedures there. On May 26th, journalists from Poland's TV Republika published documents belonging to a migrant from Somalia, which were issued to him by the German authorities. They show that the man's destination was Poland. The case is very suspicious and raises questions as to whether Germany is pointing to Poland as a destination for migrants in order to have an excuse to deport to Poland migrants who may be unwanted in Germany. We are talking about one person here, but no one knows how many such people there really are. Those who would know have a huge incentive to hide that information. Every migrant sent from Germany to Poland is a fiscal drain on the Polish taxpayer. Yet, for now, migrants continue to flow through the border.